Hey guys, it has been like a week since my last normal video, and I have been a bit stuck what build to do. And what you see right here is a very like normal build. I would say it's, well, sort of normal. This build is made for clear speed. This is called Lightning Strike with White Wind Dagger and Elusive Raider. And this is pretty cheap. It doesn't have anything too expensive. It's probably below like 5 exalts, I would say. And it can farm tier 16 maps, it can do Conquerors, it can do Guardians, but it's not really a bossing build. Bossing damage is like 2 million with everything combined if you position yourself properly, because the way Lightning Strike works with the extra strike targets. And this build started as Ice Shot Deadeye. I even named this Ice Shot No Meme because I couldn't figure out what to do, and I thought I'm gonna do an Ice Shot build because I never really played it. Well, I guess I figured out why I never played it, because I got bored of Ice Shot and I quit Ice Shot before I could even reach maps. Then used Spectral Throw. Spectral Throw was still too clunky, so I quit Spectral Throw as well and basically just replaced Spectral Throw with the Lightning Strike. I tried it a bit and it was working pretty well, at least better than Spectral Throw. And I just kept playing it and playing, and by the end of it I actually started enjoying it more and more as I played more. And I think that's because once I got enough area of effect for Herald of Ice explosions to overlap better, it just started to feel so much better. Lightning Strike is not ideal skill, it has its own issues. It gets stuck behind pebbles and some rocks and cannot climb like over cliffs. But it is very popular as a skill, it seems, because you can actually like double the damage just by positioning yourself properly and having an extra strike target, either on the gloves or Tribal Fury Anointment. Or using Ancestral Call. But this is like a budget build. White Wind Dagger, it doesn't have dodge anymore because we have now spell suppression and evasion. No attack dodge anymore. But this is elusive. I never actually played with the Nightblade support because it's for daggers and claws, and I almost never use daggers and claws, at least for attack builds. Elusive is a buff that you get at full effect, and the effect keeps like getting smaller and smaller, but you can actually reset it with the Withering Steps. So on my left click I actually have Withering Steps, which removes the elusive and applies a new elusive effect, which then you cancel immediately as soon as you perform any actions. But as soon as you crit, you get a new elusive again. So it's very simple to refresh it and maintain almost at its full value. And elusive gives you a lot of movement speed, attack speed, and it gives you a chance to dodge enemy, well, not really dodge, but avoid hits. And that combined with some evasion. I don't have a lot of evasion, like 12k, almost 13,000 evasion without flasks. And I also got blind, and it seems to be kind of enough. Even with 5.2k HP, it seems pretty decent. So since this is kind of a simple build, I'm just gonna quickly talk about my items, skills, passive skill tree. So actually I'm gonna mention a cluster jewel. There is one node that I think makes the build feel a lot better, and that is Blast Freeze. It basically proliferates your freezes, so you can apply a strong freeze on a low HP monster, and that freeze is gonna be proliferated onto stronger monsters, which allows you to freeze pretty much all the screen. You just shoot into enemy pack a bunch of projectiles and everything freezes. I even did 70% avoid elemental ailments, I believe it was Hydra's map, and I barely felt like enemies were avoiding the freezes. So this node I think is very important for this build. Now other items obviously that you need, White Wind Dagger, and it actually can be pretty expensive to get a good roll of White Wind Dagger. This one is very bad base cold damage because I don't have any conversion, because there's not much physical damage to convert into cold, so I didn't even bother getting conversion. Ideally you would want all the stats to be as high as possible, but it can be even multiple exalts if you want like very good rolled White Wind Dagger. Next, we also need, if you want to play with Lightning Strike, you do need Helmet Enchantment to get extra pierce target. You can also get extra pierce on 2 target pierce on boots, or 1 target pierce on unique jewel. There's also for 3 points you can get extra free pierce on passive skill tree, but the Helmet Enchantment is just, I guess, the simplest solution, and you don't waste any extra points. Besides, on boots you may want Tailwind boots, and I don't have any special boots, just resistances, movement speed and life. On the gloves you definitely want strike skills target 1 additional nearby enemy. Either this, or you want to anoint Tribal Fury. Oh, actually I forgot to anoint. So this build can be improved quite a bit more. I even forgot the anointment. But basically you want elemental damage, you want some flare damage, you want critical strike multiplier and critical strike chance, because Elusive also gives you a lot of crit multi once you get the masteries. So I have like, if you look at the PUB, I have like 800 critical strike multiplier, and in fact getting critical strike chance gives me more damage when getting critical strike multiplier at this point. But this is because I have Elusive. Yeah, on the body armor you do want attacks have increased critical strike chance, and then just roll as much life as possible and some resistances. Resistances was kind of an issue, and I could have gotten much better items if I could get resistances elsewhere. Intelligence, you also do need quite a bit of intelligence, 131 at least intelligence for the dagger itself. And I don't have a lot of strength. I could add Ancestral Protector. I actually don't know what else you could add for sockets, but like Blood Rage to give a bit more attack speed. It works as it is. You could actually add Grace with extra couple passive points. You could take these points. I keep saying I'm gonna talk about passive skill tree later, but I keep showing the passive skill tree, so I guess you can review my items in Powerful Building import code. I haven't done video in a week, and I guess I forgot how, because I'm so all over the place. So links, Lightning Strike, Val Lightning Strike, you want Val Lightning Strike. It's not expensive, but it could be actually a bit expensive if you want level 21 with quality. Inspiration to lower the mana cost and get a bit more crit chance and just elemental damage. Then Awakened Cold Penetration, doesn't have to be Awakened, but Awakened isn't that expensive. Added cold damage, you could also get Awakened added cold damage. As you can see, this is only 2020, so it can get a lot more damage. You don't need Divergent Nightblade, just Nightblade with quality. Divergent gives increased critical strike chance against enemies bad or on full life. This just helps a bit for clear speed, but you don't need Divergent. And then elemental damage of attacks, obviously, that does give a lot of damage. What else do I have? I have Smoke Mine, because Wither Step actually is gonna share the cooldown with Dash, for example, or Flame Dash. So you can't really use those, and you can't use Leap Slam because you cannot Leap Slam with daggers. By the way, on dagger you may want to get alternate quality for increased elemental damage, because you don't really need a bit of physical damage on low physical damage weapon. I am also using Temporal Rift. I just recently started using it just to be immune to temporal chains, and I think I have never used the Temporal Rift to teleport and heal myself back, but you can use it because you have enough mana. Hell Defiance, as you can see, is not even 20 quality, it's level 19. You can get 2120 or 2123 for a bit more damage. Hatred is also level 19, and Tornado, I tried using Tornado, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. I feel like it's doing absolutely nothing at all, so just throw it away. Now the passive skill tree, other than the Large Cluster Jewel with the Blast Freeze, you want AoE, you definitely want AoE. Until I got enough AoE, like I got AoE from this, magnifier from this, and another magnifier here. And I think that is all the AoE. It feels so much better with extra AoE, you definitely want extra AoE. So on Cluster Jewels, Widespread Destruction and Blast Freeze, it doesn't have to be 8 passive points, it could be 9, you would spend an extra point, but it's not a big deal. On Medium Jewels you want the critical strike chance, and you probably want these as soon as possible while leveling, because otherwise your critical strike chance is not going to be very high until you put on White Wind Dagger. And for leveling, I can't really give you a good leveling guide, because I wasn't using good setup and I was a bit suffering, and I was playing with different skills and kind of builds. The rest getting, well, as you can see, what's important is getting Elusive effect. I do have Watcher's Eye, but this is a very simple one. It's like 30 heals for this one, 55% increased cold damage while affected by hatred. It doesn't give all that much damage, but it does give the most damage if you compare it to normal jewels, for example. On normal jewels you want critical strike multiplier, critical strike chance even could help. Life, obviously, increased damage with daggers could be also nice. Also picked up that, but it's not really that important. Instead of that you could get something else. You also may even want to get these points and then to take the mastery, the Fair Line. Critical strike chance is increased by chance to suppress spell damage. You basically get 100% suppression, and with this 1 point you basically get 100% crit chance. But I don't need these because White Wind Dagger and Raider alone is like almost 8% spell suppression. This one 40% spell suppression. Avoid elements, also very useful. Apply triple exposure, which helps a bit with lightning damage. If you can get better body armor with frenzy on hit and increase crit chance, definitely go with the extra onslaught. You're gonna be faster and you're still gonna be able to generate frenzy charges. I only took that because this is a budget build and I don't have expensive body armor. I think for this body armor I paid 2 exiles, but that was a massive steal. Someone probably was selling their item just wanted to get rid of, and it was filled with a bunch of supports and spells, which are sold for like another 60-70k, so you probably can buy this for like 3 exiles. The rest of items are pretty cheap, so I think this is below 5 exiles. And it can do tier 16 maps. It feels great for clear speed, and in general, if you just play fast, react fast, don't get hit, and you do have evasion 61%, and you do blind enemies, so it doesn't feel bad somehow. You do eventually gonna get one-shotted and just random death from I don't know, just monsters being angry on you and deciding to actually hit you. Don't mind my inventory. I was doing some testing with the Squire Shield. I didn't find the Squire Shield. It's not mine. MB Extreme gave me a Squire Shield. I was testing a bunch of stuff and I don't even know what to do because I don't want to do a meta thing that everyone is doing. I tried Ash Collar build. Don't even ask. That didn't really work very well. I tried some other things. I think I'm gonna be doing Poet's Pen with the Squire Shield. So expect the next video to be a bit sooner. Maybe just to talk about the Squire and what's unique about this unique video. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.